Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kadash, the honors of the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners are enduring in truth and in sincerity, and the women and children who follow. So as you can see, this lesson is about prudence. Okay? So I got a couple scriptures and some definitions. We're going to just go into the word and just, we're going to eat. You know what I mean? So this is Proverbs chapter 14, starting at verse 8. It says, "The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit." Okay, so prudent. What does prudent mean? Let's get the etymology. So prudent is from the late 14th century, from Old French. Prudent, it says with knowledge, deliberate. All right, from Latin, prud saga-ish, circumspect, rarely in the literal sense of foreseen. It says contradicts providence, present participle of provende, to look ahead, prepare, supply, act with foresight. Okay, so that's really what it's talking about. Using with knowledge, okay, with using your mind, being able to predict what's going to happen in the future, deliberate, understand where you're at, where you need to be, and knowledgeably deliberating that way. Not just getting up and going, but actually carefully planning your way on how you're going to either operate during a task or if you have a journey. Okay, so if you want to go from New York to Los Angeles, you don't just hop in the car and go, and try to find your way. You break out a map, you see what roads you need to take. You use Google or your phone, that's going to give you turn-by-turn directions. That's using prudence. That's basically saying, okay, I have a task. How am I going to get here? I have a goal. How am I going to accomplish this goal? Okay, you use prudence. So let's go back to the scripture. It says, the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way. We all have a purpose. We all have a mission down here. So with prudence, okay, that's how you're going to understand your way. You're going to understand what you need to do in order to get out this place. All right, your work and your faith. You're going to understand what those works need to be, and you're going to definitely understand the faith that you need to have. It says, but the folly of fools is deceit. Okay, because you're going to if you're not using prudence, you're deceiving yourself. You may convince yourself in your own mind that you're right in your own way. So you might say, "Oh, I don't need a map. I'm gonna get there myself. I know how to get there." You just go west, and then you freaking end up in Seattle somewhere instead of Los Angeles. Okay. So that's what prudence is talking about. So what I want to do, I want to go into the blue letter definition of prudence, and this is a Strong's H6175, a rum. It says subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudence. Okay, so when it's saying like crafty, it can be talking about like in a bad kind of sense, but really what is there is sensible, using sense, common sense. All right, and I'm gonna go down here because This is Job 5:12. It says, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprises." Their enterprise, Slakia. Now, what is that talking about? We know that that's talking about the so-called New World Order and the elites, how they're setting, how they're trying to set up this society, for them. And they didn't just do this yesterday. This is something that's been planned over hundreds of years. That's that craftiness. That's prudence. It did take prudence for them and foresight for them to see that, to say, hey, if we want to take over, we're going to have to do this. It's not going to be, a 2-day takeover. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. They had prudence to say, okay, over the next couple hundred years, we know we're not going to get there, but they wanted their children's children to be there. Starting in 1776. And now, we're at that time where they're about to make their move. Okay, but the Most High said He's going to disappoint the devices of their craftiness. So their prudence isn't going to reward them in the end. But our prudence, like we read, our prudence says the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way. Because we understand our way is through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our prudence is going to get us a reward, Lord willing. And that's with getting that crown on our head. Okay? The reward of the kingdom. The reward of not having to be on the bottom and go through all the bullshit we go through. I don't have to tell you what you're going through because you're living it. But let's see, there's one more thing I wanted to get. Hold up, let me see. So here we go. It says, Proverbs 22:3. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." Right, man. So a prudent man, he knows what's coming. We know about the evil, the bad times. Jacob's trouble. And what does he do? He hides himself in the Lord, because the Lord is a strong tower. The Lord is a defense. Okay? It's not talking about hiding himself in the sense of literally like he's, hiding behind a tree or in a place that no one would see him, a closet or something like that. It's talking about being covered by the scriptures. But the simple pass it on, okay? They see us out there preaching. They hear these lessons. It might be a family member and see somebody that came in the truth and see them change, and they scoff, or whoever they are. At the end of the day, the 2/3 and the other nations is who is speaking on. And it says then they are punished. But a man of the Lord is going to know what's up, and he's going to prepare himself for that day. And going back to what I had said before, concerning he disappointed the devices of the crafty, that also pertains to, let me see. Well, hold up. That's how we do this. This is Psalms 83:3. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." Okay, who is this talking about? It's going to get to who it's talking about. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." And that's what they did to us. They set it up so that, we think that we're African American or Negroes or whatever you want to call us. Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Latino or Native American. we don't know who we truly are. That's because they, with Prudence, had a plan to take us down. It says, for they have consulted together in one consent. They've made a plan. They are confederate against us. They are all together against us. Okay? It says the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, and the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of, and they have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. Okay? And for what? What purpose? Who said, let us take ourselves the house of the Most High in possession. And that's how we went into slavery. All right? They took crafty counsel against us. They knew what was going to be their plan. And this coincides with what we just read over here with where do we get that? Was that Job 5 and 12? Yeah. It says that he disappointed the devices of the crafty. That's part of the devices that crafty came up with. Okay? Yeah, they wanted to make a new world order, but they had to build up America first. How did they build up America? Is with the labor and the mass slaughter of the Native Americans and the Latinos, so called. So that's the so-called white man's prudence and craftiness. But what of course, I'm speaking on it all. But what we need to be focused on, as a whole, is to understand our way, to know what we have to do to use our mind, to use our knowledge, because it says that wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. Okay? To understand that way, we're going to have to use this wisdom. We're going to have to use this knowledge that the Most High gave us in order to navigate this world that we're in and the world that we're coming into. Because it's not going to be a cakewalk. Okay, so with that being said, I hope you were edified and you get a good understanding on the word prudent and how to use prudence. And, safe travels out there, With that being said, I give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakar Kadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and women and children who follow. Shalom.